Okay, let's get right into it. If you're curious about the goetic spirit Barbatos, think of this not as a how-to, but as an essential safety briefing. We're going to walk through the absolute, non-negotiable rules for any novice, pulling directly from texts like the Ars Goetia to really understand the kind of discipline we're talking about here. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the seriously high stakes of this work. Then, we'll build up our defenses, looking at the physical and procedural safeguards you need. From there, we'll get into the trickier stuff, the more subtle, internal dangers, before wrapping it all up with a clear, simple checklist.
All right, let's set the stage. You often hear Barbatos described as a helpful spirit, but, that's a dangerously simple way to look at it. The real tension, the thing you have to understand, is that this entity offers incredible rewards, but it demands an immense level of respect, caution, and serious preparation in return.
And this right here, this really gets to the heart of it. You're looking at a huge trade-off. On one hand, the reward is access to knowledge that's way beyond our normal experience. But the risk? Well, the sources are clear. It's not a small setback. We're talking about a chaotic encounter that could lead to some really severe psychological distress. This isn't a game. It's a tightrope walk, and understanding that balance is step one. Absolutely.
So, when you're facing that level of risk, how do you even begin to stay in control? Well, you start by building a fortress. And I don't mean a metaphorical one. I mean a tangible, physical one. It all begins with what practitioners call the container, these structural safeguards that create a secure ritual environment.
The number one tool in your kit is the Seal of Obedience. And let's be crystal clear, this is considered mandatory. It's not a suggestion. It works like a protective shield, sure, but more than that, it's a focal point for your authority. Think of it like a badge of office in this spiritual hierarchy, a symbol that basically compels the spirit to recognize your command and play by your rules.
So these are your two foundational actions. First, you have to be wearing the seal, period. Second, you cast the protective circle. This creates a real physical and spiritual boundary, often made from salt or chalk. Together, these two things form your first and most critical line of defense.
And here is the warning word for word from the source material. This isn't just advice, it's a direct causal link. The text tells us that if you neglect these tools, it can lead directly to that severe psychological fallout we were talking about. Paranoia, mental distress, a total loss of control. That boundary isn't just to keep the spirit in check, it's there to protect your own sanity.
Now, beyond the physical tools, there's protocol. Barbatos is a great duke and was formerly an angel of the Order of Virtues. That history really matters. The sources pretty much all agree that trying to just coerce or strong-arm him is a recipe for disaster. It can lead to a hostile, completely unmanageable encounter. This is all about establishing a clear, respectful chain of command, not about using brute force.
Okay, so the container is built. The physical space is secure. But now, a whole new layer of risk shows up. This isn't about tools anymore. It's about the rules of engagement. We're talking about the critical factors of timing and the very real potential for manipulation.
The timing has to be exact. Exact. According to tradition, Barbatos should only be summoned when the sun is in Sagittarius. Why? Because that specific astrological window is believed to seriously strengthen the practitioner's control. If you try this at any other time, it does the opposite. It weakens your authority and, this is crucial, it can attract deceptive trickster spirits that will mimic the very being you're trying to contact.
And that brings up a critical question about what you're even seeing. Barbatos often appears as an archer, a familiar, almost noble, human-like form. But the sources warn us to be careful. Is this approachable appearance for real, or is it a tactic to get you to lower your guard? It's a powerful reminder that in this kind of work, constant vigilance isn't just a good idea, it's non-negotiable.
Okay, now we're going to shift from external dangers to the most personal one there is, the psychological toll of the knowledge Barbatos can give you. This section is all about building and maintaining your own inner fortress.
See, the risk here isn't a direct attack. It's a burden. Imagine a massive flood of information. Knowledge of the past, the future, the language of animals. It can be incredibly disorienting. It can cause a practitioner to lose their grip on reality or get obsessed with all the hidden secrets that are revealed. The knowledge itself becomes this crushing weight, what the sources call profoundly psychologically taxing.
And that right there is why this is presented as the ultimate prerequisite. No seal, no circle can protect a mind that isn't prepared. Your greatest defense isn't some tool you can hold. It's the internal foundation.
the grounded mind and mental fortitude that you have to bring into the ritual yourself. So let's pull all of these warnings together into something clear and actionable. Think of this as your pre-ritual summary, a final checklist that boils down everything we've just covered.
Okay, let's walk through it. Number 1. Verify your astrological timing is precise, Sun in Sagittarius. 2. Prepare your non-negotiable physical safeguards. That's the seal and the circle. 3. Be ready to establish and respect the hierarchy. 4. Do the internal work. Fortify your own mental state before you even think about starting. And finally, number 5, and this might be the most overlooked rule for a novice, master your exit strategy. Never, ever summon what you cannot confidently banish. Every single encounter has to have a definitive end.
We'll end with this powerful quote from the source material because it puts the final responsibility squarely on the practitioner. The most significant danger is often the practitioner's own lack of research or arrogance. In the end, the ritual isn't just a test of the spirit's power, it's a profound test of the summoner's own discipline, their humility, and their preparation.